Novak Djokovic's effort closes a 22-year-old chapter of Big Three dominance. Novak Djokovic enjoyed a notable run at majors in 2025, scoring 20 victories at 38 and reaching for semifinals. However, the legend lost all the matches against the top three rivals, wrapping up his season without a major final for the first time since 2017. And Novak's defeat to Carlos Alcaraz in the U.S. Open semifinal marked the closing of one of tennis' most remarkable eras. For the first time since 2002, none of the big three, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, managed to reach a major final in a season. The greatest players of the Open era started their journey at Wimbledon 2003 when the Swiss maestro lifted a trophy in his first major final. 22 years later, they are the proud owners of 66 notable trophies. The extraordinary run had been alive for over 2 decades, with the three great rivals pushing each other to the limits and leaving everyone behind. Men's tennis lived under the shadow of their dominance until 2023, and it's unlikely that we will witness anything similar in the future. Year after year, one of the three giants was a fixture in the latter stages of the sport's greatest stages, the ones that inspired them to compete at their best and chase tennis history. Between Wimbledon 2003 and the U.S. Open 2023, Roger, Rafa, and Novak missed only 7 major finals collectively, maintaining an unmatched standard of excellence for over 2 decades and ruining many careers. Federer left the party in 2019, but Nadal and Djokovic extended the legacy in the upcoming years. The Spaniard faded in 2022, and the Serb stood strong for 2 more years, especially in 2023 when he claimed 3 titles from 4 finals at 36. Novak reached another Wimbledon final last year, marking the 21st consecutive season, with at least 1 major final for Big Three. However, the veteran started to lose ground against much younger rivals in demanding best-of-5 scenarios. As we already said, Djokovic bested 20 rivals at majors this season, including Carlos Alcaraz and Alexander Zverev. However, a blend of injuries and the freshness of the young guns halted his plans and kept him away from the title matches. Thus, the 2025 season brought a turning point, signaling the close of a chapter that defined golden tennis era. While the big may third no longer be reaching major finals, their legacy of consistency, resilience, and brilliance remains woven into the very fabric of tennis history. Carlos Alcaraz earned a spot in his second U.S. Open final following a 6-4, 7-6, 6-2 victory over Novak Djokovic at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Thus, they extended their thrilling rivalry to 9 matches, with the young gun celebrating his 4th victory. While the triumph marked another statement from the young gun, his reflections after the match revealed just how highly he regards the 38-year-old Serb. Alcaraz emphasized that Djokovic's greatness cannot be measured only by records and achievements. Those remain untouched, but for Carlos, the true measure lies in the example Novak sets off the court. The 5-time major winner praised the veteran for being approachable, generous with advice, and supportive of the younger generation making its way on the professional stage. For example, Hamad Medjedovic and Jakub Mensik know a lot about that, alongside many other upcoming stars. The rivalry between Alcaraz and Djokovic has already provided some of the most memorable matches of the past years. Yet, despite the competitive fire, the Spaniard's words highlight the deep respect that defines this rivalry and his admiration toward the 24-time major winner. At 38, Novak continues to inspire the new generations with his dedication and desire. Novak Djokovic, U.S. Open 2025 copyright stream screenshot. It's not only about his ability to reach all 4 major semifinals in a season at his age. His greatness goes beyond and interacts with those following in his footsteps and example. Carlos looks to build his own legacy. However, he acknowledges Djokovic's influence and underlines the Serb's career and his impact on the future stars. The torch may be passing, but the respect remains timeless. I think everyone knows Novak as a player. What he does on the court is inimitable, with all the records and achievements. But above all, he is a wonderful person who is always there to help young people and everyone. That really deserves admiration. He is such a wonderful person, which makes him even greater. Carlos Alcaraz said. Emma Raducanu changed her mind and decided to withdraw from the upcoming Billie Jean King finals and play in a WTA tournament instead, a decision which reportedly caused some anger within the LTA. After pulling out of the BJK Cup qualifiers in April, Raducanu agreed to represent her nation at this month's finals event. But in the meantime, the top-ranked British female tennis player was offered a main draw wildcard for the WTA 500 tournament in Seoul, slated to take place between September 15th to 21st. On September, Great Britain is due to face Kazakhstan in the BJK Cup Finals quarterfinal. But now, they will have to do it without their biggest star. And after BBC Sport reached out to the LTA representatives, they received a response that pretty much indicated that they weren't happy with Raducanu's move. Of course, we are disappointed. However, we believe we have a great team, and we're looking forward to competing in Shenzhen, an LTA spokesperson said in a statement to BBC Sport. Raducanu not playing is a big blow for the British Billie Jean King Cup hopes. After missing some of BJK Cup action in the past and receiving major criticism and scrutiny, Raducanu returned to the team last year. And it instantly helped the team since the former world number 10 went an impressive 5-5 in her singles matches played in the competition last year. Great Britain ended up making a deep run before losing in the semi-final stage. Now that the 2021 US Open winner is out, Great Britain is set to be represented by Katie Boulter, Sonia Cardle, and Jodie Burrage. However, British captain and Kia Thaving is allowed to add another player, and she will very likely do so in this situation. Meanwhile, Raducanu will make her third appearance at the Korea Open in Seoul. In the past, the 22-year-old was a semi-finalist in 2022 and reached the quarterfinal last year. Even if the current world number 36 does well in Seoul, there is no doubt that she will still face criticism during the BJK Cup Finals week.